Email us if you ever need anything.
That was great information.
Absolutely. Give Ms. Rooker another big hand. Thank you. Super helpful. So, we talked a little bit about why we study government. Has anybody ever had a problem? Anybody ever had a moment where you went, that could be fixed. This could be better. Have you ever had that? Potholes in the road? Anybody have a pothole? Anybody driving? Okay. Potholes, stop signs, traffic lights, speed limits. Anybody ever had a problem like that? Oh, so if you have a problem, you have to see a need. If there's a need, then it needs to be corrected, something that needs to be fixed, something that needs to be added, something that needs to be restricted. So the beginning of government is to see a need, something that's going to make your community better. So once you come up with an idea, how do you get a bill started? How do you make the change? Well, you have to garner some support. Now, we're blessed to have another special guest today, Ms. Kristen Smith, if you'd stand up. She and her students in her class have seen a need, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about that. Give her a big hand.
Okay, so leave it to Miss Kristen to bring a bag of sweet potatoes to a meeting called Alabama Government 101, right? Okay, so what do the two have to do with each other? More than you think, I promise. Oh, I'm here. Hello. Hi. There you go. Okay. I'm sorry that one of my students couldn't be here, but the girls who were going to give this presentation, one had to go to work and one got sick. So I'm doing it for them. But this is very much a student-led process. This is not Miss Kristen-led. This is student-led. So I am teaching an Alabama history class this year. And as hopefully you all know, December marked Alabama's 200th birthday. It was our bicentennial. And we wanted to celebrate that. And we wanted to celebrate that through food. If you know me, that's not uncommon that I like to tie food into celebrations. So one of the things that we did, we decided that the theme of our centennial celebration would be a taste of Alabama. And we discussed the state official delicacies. Our state has an official nut, which is the pecan. So we had pecan pie. Pecan, either way. Our state official wild game bird is the turkey. Miss Constance roasted a delicious turkey. We have an official fruit, which is the peach. And my mom made a beautiful peach cobbler. And our official state dessert, which is the Lane cake, which has bourbon and coconut in it. It is delicious. And a lot of other wonderful things. Did any of you know that there's actually legislation on the books naming an official state nut? Did anybody know that? Well, we didn't either. But there is. If you look at the 2016 Code of Alabama, Title I, General Provisions, under Chapter 2, you will find our state's official symbols and honors. This is where the state flag is located, the state bird, the state seal, things you may be more familiar with, all the way down to our state's official outdoor musical drama. Yes, that is such a thing. So in discovering our state fruit and our state nut and our state wild game bird, what we found was there was no state official vegetable. Well, how can that be? This is Alabama. Every time you turn around, someone's planting something. Okay, with a state whose economy is so richly based on agriculture, how can we, of all the states, not have a state vegetable? Okay, so I thought maybe we were just missing something. So I said, guys, what we need to do is contact our state archives because they're the ones that do this research into the laws. Well, sure enough, we get an email back from the state archives. Couldn't find a state vegetable anywhere. But he writes us back and he says, but you've really got us all talking, and we think it should be collard greens. Well, we all laughed about it, and then we got to thinking, maybe we should figure out what our state vegetable should be. So if you had to pick a vegetable for Alabama, what would you suggest? Anybody want to throw anything out there? No? Okra. Okra's a good one. Okay? Okra is a good one. We actually talked about okra. Okra was definitely on our list. But when we got to researching okra, Alabama doesn't grow a lot of okra, not as much as many of the other states. So we took okra off the list. Squash was on our list. Anybody like yellow squash? That was on our list. It's not a vegetable, it's a fruit. Seeds are inside. Fried green tomatoes. That was on our list. Again, a fruit. Collard greens. Nobody likes collard greens. So I don't like them. So we just marked that off right away. But you know what made our list? Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Everybody likes sweet potatoes. So we're like, well, let's research the sweet potato. Okay? So step one in this whole process that the Huntsville City Council lady was talking about is to have an idea, right? So we had an idea. We need a vegetable. We need a state vegetable. We don't have one. We need one. Okay? But there's more steps to just the idea process than going all the way to the bill. You can't just call up your state whomever and say, hey, we need a vegetable, and then hang the phone up. Okay? Life doesn't work that way. If you've got a problem, you propose a solution. Hey, we don't have a state vegetable, and we think it should be the sweet potato, and here's why. So the next thing we did was research. We researched the sweet potato, okay, like we researched okra, like we researched yellow squash, okay? Do you know that the sweet potato brings in $9 million a year to the state of Alabama? Okay, $9 million. Alabama ranks 6th in the nation of the states who produce sweet potatoes. We called the Alabama Sweet Potato Association president. Yes, there is such a thing. And he explained to us how Alabama is the perfect state for growing sweet potatoes because of our soil, this mixture of sand and the clay, and how it allows the potato, which is a root vegetable, to expand. We researched the health benefits of sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are good for you. Really good for you. Super high in vitamins, lots of vitamin C. They're great for your eyesight. Your dogs can eat them. Okay, my dog's got skin problems. You know what kind of diet she's on? Sweet potato. That was the vet. That wasn't me. Okay, so we researched the sweet potato, and we're like, you know what? If I was going to pick a state vegetable, the sweet potato would be it. Well, I couldn't let it go at that. So I'm like, all right, guys, what's the next step in this idea thing? So we have an idea. We found a need. There's no state vegetable. We did our research. We picked one. Now we have a solution, the sweet potato. Now what do we do with it? Okay. So like the lady from Huntsville was saying, it's time to contact someone. Well, who do you contact? Find out who your state representative is, who your state senator is. Go look it up online. It's super simple. There's a map. Type in your address. Boom. All their names will come up, their addresses, their phone numbers, and their email addresses. So we wrote letters. We wrote letters that included facts about the sweet potato and how perfect the sweet potato, how uniquely wonderful Alabama is to grow the sweet potato, and how much revenue it brings to our state, and how many farmers depend on the sweet potato for their livelihood. And we sent these letters to 3 of our state senators, to Senator Orr and Senator Butler and the other one who didn't respond to us. Well, a week later, we got our first letter back from a senator. Okay, here's our letter. Okay, we actually got a letter back, their gold embossed letterhead. Okay, and it says, thank you for your letters. This was to 2 sisters. Thank you to your letters promoting the sweet potato as our state's vegetable. Your recommendation is an interesting one, and I appreciate your sharing it along with supporting factual evidence as to why it should be selected. I look forward to gauging the interest of my colleagues in the legislature regarding their support for such an initiative when we convene again in February. Thank you again for sharing your suggestion. Okay, so that's the next step. We sent our letters, and we actually got a response. Not just one response, but we got 2 responses. Here's our other letter. Okay, we got 2 responses. And if you see on this letter, before he signed it, this is Senator Orr, before he signed it, he hand wrote, talk to Senator Butler. We'll work with him on this issue. Well, that's the next step. That the senators have to start talking to each other because they have to vote on it. Okay? So here's our letter from Senator Butler. And he writes about 2 weeks after we got Senator Orr's letter, and he actually said, I am pleased to introduce Senate Joint Resolution in the upcoming 2020 regular session starting on February 4th, naming the sweet potato as the official state vegetable of Alabama. I know, yay, right? Okay, so now it goes on to the legislative process, which I know Ms. Constance is going to talk a lot more about. And we're going to be just thrilled to watch this bill go through the legislature. It hasn't been assigned a number yet. At least last time I checked, it hadn't. Did you check this morning? Anyway, it will when February 4th rolls around. Now, I know they have more important things to do than talk about sweet potatoes, okay? And you guys are not much different from any of my students. And it's like, Miss Kristen, it's a sweet potato. Get a grip, okay? Well, I brought this bag of sweet potatoes because I order from Walmart grocery pickups. Anybody else do that? I don't like go in a grocery store anymore. So this is the bag of sweet potatoes that the Walmart people bought from me. You know where this bag of sweet potatoes came from? Coleman, Alabama. Okay? This bag of sweet potatoes that I bought at Walmart put food on somebody's table, put a roof over somebody's head, right? Somebody drove the truck that brought these sweet potatoes to the Walmart. The girl at Walmart had a job because the sweet potatoes were there so she could pick them and bring them out to my car, right? There's a farmer down in Coleman making his living and hiring other people to work his farm. And there's a gas station attendant that he goes to get gas to put in his tractor to do his farm. So yeah, it's a sweet potato. Okay? But it's a lot more to this family in Coleman, Alabama. Okay? It's a lot to the Alabama Sweet Potato Association. They're thrilled out of their minds. They had no idea we didn't have a state official vegetable. The people in Coleman County have the Sweet Tater Festival. See my shirt? Sweet Tater Festival. They have a sweet potato festival every Labor Day weekend. This will be their 25th year. They had no idea we didn't have a state vegetable. And they had these shirts special made for me and the members of my class for our work. Because now the marketing director has a whole nother level of marketing that she can now do to promote the sweet potato. So don't think that your idea, even if it's about a sweet potato, okay, is stupid or lame, because I can tell you these sweet potatoes mean a lot to somebody. A lot. And not only that, but the process is the same. So we saw a need for a state vegetable. You might see a need for something far greater. But the process is still the same. You have that idea, and you can't be afraid to go out and ask for someone to listen to you and know that you will be listened to. Okay? So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today about our sweet potato. Please follow our sweet potato bill, and do not be afraid to contact your senator. Vote yes for the sweet potato.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Give her a hand. That's what's commonly known as a grassroots movement. That is what's called a grassroots movement. You hear people talk about a grassroots movement? That's what it is in a nutshell. Somebody gets excited about an idea, does the research, basically contacts their legislators, gets some more support from other people, and the legislator sponsors legislation. So that's exciting. That's exciting. And that's from a group of homeschoolers here in Madison County, Alabama. All right? So, we're going to do... We're actually going to change the schedule just a little bit. We were going to talk a little bit more about how government works, but because we have a few students who have to leave, we are going to we're going to transition a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to see. So we talk about how government works. Hold on.